coaches. Okay, so today I want to kind of show you a continuation of the last video. So last video what we did was we started tracking sessions purchased, sessions used, and sessions remaining. And so what I want to show you in this video is how you can actually use Fillout. That's a form builder. It's my favorite form builder. I believe it's the best. To dynamically show or hide scheduling forms and payment forms whether or not that client has any sessions remaining. So for example, if this client right here were to log into the form, access the form, they would see the ability to book more sessions because they have sessions remaining. But if Gary here logged in, Gary would get a message that they have no more sessions, they will need to purchase more. And so here's how we can do that. So we'll go over to Fillout Forms. I'll choose Make a Fillout, and I always like to start with a blank form. Starting from scratch is easy. You can change your theme, but I always just choose light, and we can customize that later. So we'll call this Scheduling Form. Okay, now we have a couple of pages here. We have a page with information. So sometimes what I like to do is do name and email, things like that. We also need a page for payment, and let's just do a one-time payment here. We'll call it coaching package. Package. And we'll just make the price $500, and we'll say 1 month. Actually, let's make this a little bit more realistic. 3 months of coaching. We'll make this $1,500. And that comes with 12 sessions. Okay. So let's go ahead and just add this payment page. I'm already connected to Stripe. Fantastic. All right, and we also need to add a page for scheduling. And so you can use Fillout Forms built-in scheduler. They give that to you for free. I use cal.com. It is premium, so you would have to be on a paid plan, but I'll show you what this looks like for free. So we want a one-on-one meeting. This would be a coaching session. We'll make it for an hour. And we'll go ahead and add Zoom in here, which I've already connected. So we'll do create, and then this is going to look very similar to your scheduling form. And so here's what we need to do now. So we have the kind of the components in here. We don't want the person filling this out to see the checkout form every time and the coaching session form every time. So what we need to do is we actually need to connect this to our Airtable base, and we have one there. Let's just see if I can, you know what I'll do? Let me give this a name. I have a couple client databases. So let's just reconnect. And make sure that we're good to go. Okay. So let's start looking for client database 123. There we go. And the table that I want is contacts. Perfect. And so we're going to do something interesting here. We're just going to do update a record, and we're going to take this formula. And this is useful because I want somebody to be able to update their contact information if they need to. So without them having to write to you and update their name and all of that, this empowers them to do it themselves. So we'll just copy this. We'll go to our database here. I'm going to create a new column here. I'm going to call it Fillout Form. And what we're going to do is this is going to be a formula field. And all you're going to do is just paste that little snippet in that Fillout gave you and choose create. Now what this is going to do is it actually gives individualized links. So you could take this a step further in the future and add these to your email marketing and include that in your welcome email sequence. That'll be a future video. But for now, if I wanted to, I could give this client right here their personalized form. So let me show you how this works. So we're over here. Let's just finish this setup, go back to editing the form, and now it actually shows our Airtable fields. So it read our Airtable base, and it knows that I have a column for first name, it knows I have a column for email address, and it knows that I have payments, sessions, things like that. The way that the integration currently works is that there is no way to display roll-up, count, or formula field results in Fillout. I'm sure that's something they'll be adding in the future, but for right now, it's not available. And so what we need to do here instead is that Airtable actually has some built-in automations, and let's just change this a bit. So we had lead client, past client. Let's change this a bit and say client, and then no more sessions. Let's do it like that. And we'll add an automation. And automations are always made up of at least one trigger and one or more actions. So our trigger in this case is when a certain record, or when any record really, matches certain conditions. And so what we want to do is choose the contacts table, because that's where we're storing all of the session counts. And we want to say that when the sessions remaining is less than 1, then what do we want to do? Let's see. Choose. Okay, we found somebody. Gary. We know Gary doesn't have any sessions left. We need to add a step to update a record. And same thing, contacts table. The record here is going to be the record that we had in step 1. Because we want to be able to update the same record. So we're looking at a record, we're seeing that they have less than 1 session. Now we want to update the record to say that there's no more sessions, right? And so the field that we want to update is the status, and we want to set the status for this person to no more sessions. So we'll generate a preview. Okay, this is how it should work. Okay, excellent. We'll name this to change status when out of sessions. Perfect. And we'll turn it on. So that means that moving forward, when there is someone, again, we just turned this on, but when somebody has less than 1 session, so like Gary here, that this status will automatically update to no more sessions. Now this is really important. So let's type in Gary's name here. So now when we go back to Fillout, let's just see if I can refresh some fields here. Okay, get everything refreshed. All right. Now what happens is this status here will be displayed. And we don't want them to select their own status, right? So what we're going to do is we are going to hide this always, okay? This will make sense in a little bit. And what we want to do is we want to show this field or this page when certain things happen, and we want to show this page when certain things happen. And that really is the status, right? So if a client has no more sessions, we want to show them this payment page. And if they have sessions, we want to show them this coaching session page. So we need to add some conditional logic for this payment page here. And the way that we can do that is just right here. And so what we can do is we will have this page. Let's see if we can disconnect a couple of things. Go here, but then also go here. And now we can set a condition. Okay, so this is our page where we have the basic information, the name, email, all that. And we can say we only want to show the payment form when the status is no more sessions. Okay? And then once they do that, they should be able to book their session again. And if they have sessions, they'll skip the payment page altogether and then go to booking a session. Okay, so let's publish this for a moment because I want to show you what this looks like. All right, so if we go here, we have 2 different clients. We have one that clearly has sessions left, and we have one that has no more sessions. So if I were to give this to my first client and they clicked on this form to fill it out, you're going to see a couple of really cool things. One, it's going to ask them to confirm their information. So it automatically pulls that information from Airtable, and it knows that they have sessions left, right? So it's going to just show them the coaching session. They can go through the flow. We can change this so this automatically populates, which I'll show you how to do in 1 second. But then they just schedule the event, and that is that. So if we close this, and we go back here to Gary, and we go to Gary's unique link, we can see, okay, Gary's email address, but remember, Gary doesn't have any more sessions. So when we click next, it's going to ask Gary to pay to re-up their coaching sessions. And so once they pay, then they will be redirected to the scheduling form. And then I promised I'd show you this. So let's just go to the coaching sessions here. Actually, I want to switch these pages around. Oh, won't let me. Okay, that's fine. So what we can do here is where it says display, availability, all of that stuff, we can automatically map in the name and the email address. So let's just find out where that is. Let's see, notifications, advanced, pre-fill fields. Here it is. The email, we want to be that person's email address. And the name, we want to be their name. Okay, let's republish this. And then let's go ahead and go to this client. And we'll just restart this submission. Okay. All right. Here we are. Name and email, coaching session. And now when I choose a time, you can see my information is pre-filled. So that's one less step that the client has to take. So that's how simple it is to set up a simple automation and use Fillout Forms to create something as dynamic as this. And I'm going to remind you again, because I get this question sometimes, is how did we get these forms here? How did we get these unique client forms? All we did was we went in here to Fillout Forms and we said, okay, we want to update a record. And then Fillout gave us this special little formula, okay? And what we did was we went in here, we created a column. It was a formula column, and we just pasted the formula. And what that does is it means every new record, so I'm just going to add a couple of things here. So let's just say it's jesse@email.com, and my name is Jay. Let's just see here. I have 0 sessions, so that automation will eventually run, and there it goes, right in front of us, pre-populated, new. We didn't have any sessions, so it pre-populated. And you can see that that formula automatically creates a unique form URL for us. So if I click on this, I will go right into Fillout, and there it is. There's my info, and I can change it, right? If I wanted to do this, and then I could pay and do the scheduling and things like that. And once I submitted it, my information would be updated on the database. So yeah, so this is a really important workflow when you are working with clients and maybe they accidentally started booking with you and they ran out of sessions, right? It takes away the need to constantly remember to keep track and to send people and say, oh, you have to re-up. I noticed you booked a session. All of that is automatically handled because it's dynamically accounted for in an automated system right here. So this was a little more intermediate and advanced, but it's such a useful workflow and something that will save you a lot of time. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments, ask me in the Facebook group, come to an automation hour, and I would be so happy to help you set this up for yourself. All right, we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.